Thank you so much, Leni. And I love how much you said in these 15 minutes and that you ended on a hopeful note. That is very nice to hear. I do just want to, we have maybe time for one question. And what I found is interesting is sort of if I had to like write a slogan based on your speech, it's like, the news is fake, but the frustration is real. And I think that's an important insight that, this is only if there's widespread frustration, it's kind of like the ground on which the fake news and the disinformation.
And Nico, if there is one lesson that we learned, it's really that, the animating spirit of democracy is inclusivity. We see that the frustrations are coming from the fact that inequality is so great. It is so much greater now than it was before. And, inequality breeds frustration, and frustration makes you vulnerable. It makes societies vulnerable. So really, democracy should bear in mind that the animating spirit should really be to make sure that the least, and the lost do not get left behind.
But I also found remarkable is what you said about net neutrality. And it kind of harks back, of course, to this morning where we talked about governments regulating technology. So let me ask you this. This seems an obvious thing to do for countries, to ensure that there's not certain sources of information online that are easier accessible through pricing or other means. Why hasn't it happened in the Philippines? Like, what would need to change in the Philippines for it to happen?
We have not passed any legislation that would address where we are now as far as this information is concerned. There are not even enough bills that are being discussed now. I know for a fact that there's one in the Senate where there is an attempt to go after the influencers. There's several levels in the disinformation structure. The lowest ones are the fake news peddlers, but there's a lot. There are influencers and there's PR consultants, but there's not enough debate yet. It's like it was a wait and see for so many of us, and perhaps because of the people behind them, there's not much effort that's there to combat it.
You said at the very end that you were hopeful, so let's remain hopeful. Thank you very, very much for being here and for your insights, and of course we'll continue the conversation later. Thank you so much, Leni Robredo.
Thank you.